The moment that Leon Edwards knocked out Kamaru Usman will be replayed thousands of times. It was a huge upset and some still can't seem to accept it. Chael Sonnen has even suggested that Leon Edwards cheated to get the win. So what does Sonnen suspect happened? And how did Dana White shut him down? Stay tuned for all of that and more MMA news coming right up. First up, what happened at UFC 278? Edwards shocked the world at UFC 278 by toppling the welterweight champion Kamaru Usman in the last minute of the 5th round. The two were facing each other for the second time, with Usman getting the better of Edwards in 2015. Since then, Usman had gone on a 13-fight winning streak, which included 5 title defenses. He is widely considered one of the best welterweights of all time, and a second victory over Edwards would have cemented it. But Leon Edwards had other ideas. While Usman has been winning the belt, Edwards was on his own winning streak. In fact, the last fighter that he lost to was Usman in that fight 7 years ago. The stakes were high, and the Nigerian Nightmare looked to be taking care of business as usual. Usman dominated virtually the entire fight until the end of the final round, where Edwards found his composure and landed a perfectly executed head kick to knock out the champion cold. Usman has said that he only remembers what happened after the fight because of video replays, but when he actually remembers regaining consciousness was when he was in the ambulance afterwards. He said that Leon gave him a 20-minute nap from the kick. I don't know about you, Kamaru, but I prefer my naps to be relaxing, not for being knocked out on national television. Will Usman ever recover? After big losses, some fighters never really recover. Having a championship mindset can make all the difference in fighting, and Khamzat Chimaev thinks that Usman might never really recover. Chimaev is working his way up the middleweight ladder one fight at a time. His next bout will be against UFC veteran Nate Diaz, and after that, he wants to keep marching towards a title fight. But once he gets there, he thinks that it probably won't be Usman waiting for him. Talking about Usman's knockout defeat to ESPN, Chimaev said that the former champion wouldn't ever be the same guy again in the mind. According to Chimaev, Usman's power came from his belief that no one could beat him. Now that his title has been taken with a brutal finish, his confidence will be shattered. Another fighter who agrees with Chimaev is the retired legend Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib said that it's normal for a fighter not to recover after such a devastating loss. He also said that it was hard to watch the best fighter in the world get knocked out like that. Khabib retired with an undefeated record in MMA, so it might be hard for him to imagine coming back from losing the crown. But some of the best stories in the UFC are comeback fights. The only way for it to be settled will be with a trilogy fight set up between Edwards and Usman. That's where Usman's mental strength will really be put to the test. Is Usman heading to the boxing ring? If there's one thing that has divided the fight community over the past few years, it's the increasing popularity of crossover fights. Conor McGregor went up against Floyd Mayweather in the money fight, and a number of influencers have jumped into the ring to try something new. Now, Usman might be joining that trend. Usman said that he preferred to take a fight against Canelo than someone like Jake Paul, not just for the money, but also for the credit that he would earn by beating such a big name. Usman thinks that if he's gonna gamble, then he might as well go big. So in the build-up to UFC 278, Usman again called out super middleweight boxing champion Canelo Alvarez. Usman was called deluded for thinking he had a chance against one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Dana White also branded the idea as stupid and said that Usman didn't stand a chance. But now Canelo himself has responded. When asked about the potential of a fight between the two, Canelo said, "Not now. Maybe when I am finished boxing." The Mexican boxer is still interested in writing his name in the history books, and his next fight is against rival Gennady Golovkin, also known as GGG. Canelo has the same mindset as Mayweather did. Break the records first, and then you can focus on exhibition fights for some extra cash. At 32 years old, though, Usman might be waiting a while for Canelo to retire. Up next, which division will Khamzat Chimaev fight in next? And why is Chael Sonnen convinced that Leon Edwards cheated? So don't go anywhere. Edwards versus Usman 3. If a trilogy fight is set up, then that means Chimaev will have to wait a little while longer to have a shot at the belt. But who does he already have in mind for his next fight? Khamzat Chimaev is a man of confidence. He came into the UFC all guns blazing and ready to fight anyone. He fought 3 times in just his first year in the promotion, including twice in 10 days. He's not messing around, and he has already stated his career goal of being a 3-division UFC champion. UFC President Dana White has confirmed that Chimaev beating Nate Diaz guarantees him a title shot in his next fight. But if Edwards and Usman are facing off for a 3rd time, then where does that leave Chimaev? Shamav? Well, he's looking at a different division already. He said that he would be interested in fighting the winner of the middleweight championship fight between Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. The last time Shamav fought at middleweight, he won with a knockout at UFC Fight Night 178, so he clearly has no issue with moving up in weight classes. Shamav is now in the top 5 of the welterweight division, but is yet to be really tested in the middleweight division. The top fighters like Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier, and Alex Pereira could prove to be a different kind of challenge for Shamav. But maybe he's right. Maybe he will be holding 3 championship belts one day. UFC 278 was a life-changing event. Usman getting knocked out was the culmination of months of preparation and hard work. A video showing Edwards practicing the exact technique he used to finish the fight shows just how much planning goes into these moments. Edwards owes a lot of credit to his coach Dave Lovell, who recently went on the MMA Hour to break down the fight. Lovell praised Edwards' execution and talked about what their plans for the future are. It's widely expected that there will be a trilogy fight, but Lovell said that it's not certain yet. Lovell knows that there's a lot of wheeling and dealing in the sport and is open to the possibility of Edwards facing a challenger like Khamzat Chimaev for his first title defense. He went on to talk about how Usman must feel after the knockout. Lovell thinks that it will be a life-changing event for the former champion and might spell the beginning of the end for Usman. He said, "Let's see physically if Usman can get back to where he needs to be, and mentally." Meanwhile, Leon Edwards is more than willing to have a trilogy fight, but he wants to do it on his own terms in front of a home crowd in the United Kingdom. His dream is to fight in front of 42,000 people on one of the biggest at Wembley Stadium. And with other talent coming out of the United Kingdom like Paddy Pimblett and Molly McCann, he might just have a shot. Edwards was accused of cheating. Leon Edwards taking the championship belt from Kamaru Usman has been one of the biggest upsets of the year, but Chael Sonnen thinks it was more than an upset. He is questioning the refereeing and calling the tactics of Edwards cheating. It's not often that a fighter gets accused of cheating in MMA. There are only so many ways that a UFC fighter can cheat inside the octagon. Usually these are illegal strikes, but Chael Sonnen is accusing Leon Edwards of something different. Sonnen is a former UFC challenger and known for his no-holds-barred trash talking, but he has also become a commentator and analyst since retirement. According to Sonnen, there were times throughout the fight when Edwards was grabbing the cage of the octagon, which is illegal. Sonnen thinks that this is what ended up allowing Edwards to escape a number of times and avoid being finished by Usman. He also said that even though the referee broke the action 5 or 6 times, Edwards wasn't penalized. But Dana White has shut down Sonnen's comments, claiming that Edwards' actions didn't influence the outcome of the fight. White said he became champion with a head kick. He didn't win by grabbing the fence. White went on to say that it was unfair for Sonnen to accuse Leon of cheating and that it took away the credit from a great moment. Edwards dug down deep to bounce back and perform in a moment of desperate need. Do you think that Leon Edwards cheated against Kamaru Usman, or did he deserve the victory? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.